Okay. So yeah, look, we're peeling off of there. All I did is shut the bail, okay, tight. We're under something. Under a log, something right here at the shore. I'm actually not going to reel anymore. And like always, guys, like I say, right in the corner of the mouth. Right there. I don't know if you guys could see that last night. Almost every single time. Ooh. Almost every single time. Corner of the mouth. And that is not really through there well. This hook did not penetrate all the way through, but it still pinned him enough to keep him on. If he had turned just right, he'd have rolled that hook out himself. Didn't quite poke through, it only poked in. It's a beautiful little early morning channel, though. I'm loving the colors. Wow, stop flipping on me, buddy. Stop flipping on me. So, early morning channel on a weedy ball. Beautiful little channel. Needs to be cleaned off a little bit. Beautiful Lake Jordan channel. They're not huge. This is eating size though, guys. Look, if you're camping at Lake Jordan and you're wanting to eat fish, this is the size you want. You don't want no huge, you really don't want huge fish because they're going to be yucky. I guarantee you these are farm-raised catfish. They're all about the same size. Just like at the Pay Lake I used to fish. They stocked them and they were always about the same size. So I'm going to say those are farm-raised channel cats. Some of the best eating you'll probably ever have. Honestly, some of the best eating you will ever have. So we're going to do our weedy ball again here. So that's one this morning and one miss. But yeah, we're going with one fish, one channel. They're all about the same size. So these weedy balls are about the perfect size for that size fish. Now you see that? That's fish slime. Either get rid of it or pull it down closer to your bait. You want that smell to not be out by itself. You want it to kind of blend in with your bait or the line. So I'm just going to pack that around. My hook's not quite down in there. Might need to add a little more weedy. We'll see. Nope, I don't think so. Form a nice ball. Should hang straight. If you hang it weird and sideways, when you cast it, it'll be an issue. It'll tear itself off. I think it's because it's not hanging straight. When you swing it to like a pendulum to cast it, the line guillotines through the bait and just pops it off. Okay, yeah, it was cold last night, so I slept in my sweatpants. I don't know what time I woke up. 3 a.m. or something. I was like, that storm woke me up, and then, I don't know, a lady down here screaming, like bloody murder, to the point I almost got up, got out of bed, got dressed, and went to see if she was being murdered. I swear she ran through the woods without a light. And I think she fell down, and that's what the screaming was about, but I don't know. You know, people are funny. She could be one of those people that every time something happens, she storms off, and then something worse happens because, well, she's not paying attention and she's just storming off. And guys do that too. This just happened to be a girl. I'm not picking on women. I'm not picking on anyone. Don't take it that way. If you do, that's your own fault. Take it that way, send me a message that says, hey, did you mean it this way? Because I honestly, I don't. This is just gorgeous, guys. Does not get better than this. 7:30. We were looking to find out what time the grooming salon's open when that fish hit. I was just getting ready to switch it over. Alright, I had switched it over, was just getting ready to search on maps, and that fish hit, so then I had to switch everything back. But I need to know where the nearest grooming salon is, and what time they open, because I'm going to be there pretty close to open. I'm going to take a shower before we leave here. This is a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful camping area. Lake Jordan, guys. Jordan Lake, Lake Jordan. North Carolina, Raleigh, Durham area. Raleigh, Durham. Yes, I already forgot the name of the campground. Look, guys, I am really bad with that right now. Ever since getting sick, my memory is very limited, and I have some recall issues, especially short term. So I stay in a campground, I couldn't tell you the name of it. I really don't care the name of it. I save it on a GPS so I can actually get back to it. It's that simple. I just want to be able to get back to where I'm supposed to go. I know remembering the name would make it easier. I know this is Lake Jordan. I think maybe it's Georges State Park. But I'll have to look when I get back. And I would say, oh, I'd look right now on maps, but I have no service. I have like a half a bar that comes and goes. It's not enough to really, well, do anything. So, and you're really in the city. So I think really, if you had anything other than my service, you'd be golden. Golden. Oh, we're going again, guys. We are going again. That was just taking off. It stopped, but we're just going to give it a minute. A lot of times they'll run 5, 6 feet, and then they'll stop to eat that thing, and then they'll take off again. Might have felt the line got spooked and dropped it. The dough ball might have pulled off. That's the other thing, if you have any tension on that line, and that fish is swimming away, it will pull that dough ball. It'll pull a hook right out of that dough ball. And the dough ball's big, so they can be holding that whole dough ball in their mouth like this, just kind of crushed. And then, yeah, fine line. If that doesn't move in a few minutes, we'll go ahead and reel it in and check it, because it was definitely cooking. So if it doesn't pick back up, then yes. My guess is that the line actually, even though we have the bail open, the line made enough friction or hung on something going out that it was, well, pulled it right out of the dough ball. Sun's coming up. And I am in flannel lined sweatpants, so they're double thickness. That's how cold I was. Big boot socks and a thermal that Carter makes. The Force Thermal. It's an underlayment. It is the best underlayment I have ever purchased, bar none. Bar none. It is phenomenal. If you wear underlayments, this is the best one I have ever found. It feels like wearing a real shirt. It doesn't cling to you. You totally forget it's on. I mean, you really do. It's so comfortable that I forget I'm wearing it. Well, unless I have my chest harness on, because that chest harness for the camera is tight. And it reminds me that, yeah, that's all going on. Okay, so what do I got on here? I got my head mount. I'm taking you guys off. Sorry, guys. It's killing my head. Okay, we got no screen. I had my polarized glasses on. You can't see your screens with the polarized glasses on a lot of electronics. My cameras are black and white, the back screens, and it's like you can't see them at all. Can't see them at all. Okay, so we're gonna reel that in. We had a run. It didn't come back to pick it up. So either way, I just wait a few minutes. If it doesn't come back, I assume one of two things. Pull off the ball. Now, would we have done that with a treble? I'm gonna tell you, probably not. You're probably not going to get a fish that's going to pull a dough ball off of a treble without getting hooked, which is why they're using a treble. I don't think that's hooking any. I don't think it's really fishing anymore to me. Everyone has their different opinions, okay? Some people are all about, oh, it's just about how many you catch. I like the challenge. Actually, kind of the more of a challenge, the better. I'm not a barbless type of guy. I think that defeats the purpose. Once I get that hook in there, that means the fish had to pick it up, had to eat it. I, had to set the hook or not lose my rod in the water, because I'll have to sit somewhere. And all the fish has that. Look, I've seen people, or I've come back, it's been a year, where, yeah, I've done it. I've come back, because we used to fish a little pay lake that had a store. You could go up there and get something to eat. Now that's when you're going to get your bite. Guaranteed you're going to get your bite there. I really don't recall ever losing a rod, okay, like into the water. I do recall having one stolen. And my tackle bag. Talk about heartbreaking. I'll tell you what, that's a heartbreaking thing for a teenager to go through. You go out to the lake, you set your stuff up, you go wandering around to, do some bass fishing, and you come back and some jackass, some needy person has stolen your tackle bag and your rod. Like, seriously. It's just horrible. I was with some friends and they had it happen out at Nag's Head. I know. And you think, really? It's a vacation area. You should be prepared. No, people, don't steal. Don't steal. There is nothing you're going to get from another person that is worth stealing. I'm going to set this up with a trigger again. All the trigger does is it helps keep that line up higher. Trigger sucks though. That trigger sucks. If it's windy, you can do some different stuff. You can do, a wrap around your trigger. I don't recommend a loop, because if it pulls tight and the loop stays tight because that's a big fish, it'll get to the first eye and lock up into that eye for you, and you'll be losing a rod, you will. You'll be losing a rod. Yeah, so don't recommend that, but you can do like a barrel wrap around it, and that'll keep it in the wind from actually being able to pull line around that piece of wood. I have no wind today. This is gorgeous, but I can't really see either. It's like I'm sitting here and then all of a sudden that line's just going, and it is so small and thin, 8 pound. I have a hard time seeing it coming off the reel. Now I can see it out by the water pretty easy. So during the day, that's your best place to look. I really, if I was going to do a lot of night fishing, I'd get a serious black light or an all mono blue. And that may be the problem. I don't know what mono that is. That may not be what I used to buy, but what I used to buy was blue tint trilene SL. Is it SL? Super limp? I think it's SL. LS. Super limp. Okay, so it's great for casting. It has no memory. It's my favorite line. It's always been XT. I think it's XT is what it used to be called. That might be still what it's called, or XL. Extra limp. I think it's XL. Extra limp. But regardless, I love that line. With a black light, and that flashlight may not be, that little headlamp. Those LEDs look more white to me than purple. It's supposed to be a fishing headlamp. I think up by your eyes it would work fine, but what I wanted it for was to lay it down and illuminate. It should make that fishing line purple. You should see it. Like at night, you put a black light on our fishing line, it's like, whoosh, it's there. You can't do that with Power Pro. So, I don't know though. After fishing this mono again, I may go back to Power Pro. I don't know. I haven't decided, guys. I haven't decided. Power Pro is a lot like what the older fishermen used to use, which was Dacron. And, Dacron was great. Lasted for years on a rod. I don't really saltwater fish anymore. But I really never had any issues with Power Pro mucking up my spools because, you know, if they trap salt, that salt gets released slowly. And getting it back out of that binding on Power Pro is more difficult than mono, that's for sure. Mono's a smooth plastic, basically. Super smooth plastic. So Jordan Lake has been a phenomenal catfish lake. If I came here to camp, I would plan on having fresh catfish for dinner, at least one night. I mean, like, I think you could get out in the morning. Let's see how this morning goes. We only caught one. I got out late. Last night I couldn't sleep. I fell asleep, and then like 2 a.m. that screaming started, and then the tree fell, and then I finally fell back asleep. And then I was up at 4, and that was too early. It was still way dark. And then I was 6:30, and then I think 6:45 I was up. So not really late day, but later than usual. But yesterday was a long day. We worked a lot of salons yesterday, and then we got here. We set up camp, and Jetty and I set up camp. Well, you did too. Look, you guys are with me. You're in the cameras. You're gonna see the footage eventually. Eventually, you're gonna see the footage. You're always with me. I take you in the bathroom. Got a lot of editing to do there. But, you know, you want to see what the bathroom of the campground looks like. They're okay. They're fine. I mean, you know, I've seen better, but this is an older campground. So eventually, when they need them, they'll redo those bathrooms. And I think that's kind of with the government, they don't like to go in and do little upgrades. Like, I would be happy if you put a place to hold the soap and shampoo. One single shelf in there. Not difficult. You know, 4 screws, you got 4 stalls in there, the handicap is in there, so you need 4 of them, because you can't actually use the handicap bench to put stuff on, it's going to get wet. I thought about that yesterday. I'll use the bench. Everything on that bench gets soaked, and it comes way out into that bathroom. That is one thing I would love to design, is a decent handicap bathroom. I don't think I've seen any. Handicapped people, like, do you like the restrooms you find in, you know, look, I really don't think government buildings, I don't think restaurants and all these specialty places need to do anything other than, you know, a stall that you can fit in. Honestly, I really don't. And bars to help you get around. But it's different when it comes to a shower. And that's what we're talking about, is just the shower stalls at all these campgrounds that are handicapped. And honestly, we're really only talking government. Look at this, guys. Look at this. I'm going to try to get it. Oh, where are you? It's a problem with the camp. There it is. I got it way too late. No, I did. So that osprey, I watched him. He flew down this tree line. I didn't know what it was. He was lower than the tops of the trees, and I couldn't make out what type of bird it was. Flew around the corner, and when he came back, he had a fish. I don't think I caught him in the camera. I really don't. Unfortunately, I think I was way off on aiming that one. So that tree crashing down last night was very interesting. I'm laying there, the wind's whipping up, back up to what seemed like 60, 70 miles an hour. Honestly, it was leaning the 10 over. When we went up from fishing, the skies had gotten black. It started to cool down. The wind was like blowing directly onto the beach. And I thought, well, we could just kind of keep... And I thought, no, I need a rain fly. We're supposed to get heavy storms. It looked like it was going to miss us till that point. I got up, we got the rain fly all hammered in, and honestly, it was really more like a storm flap. By the time I got it on, the winds were easily 60, whipping up the side of this hill right here. We're coming off the lake, going right up, basically right here. You see this slant? It just goes up right to my campsite. And it was blowing right into the side of the tent. At 2 or 3 in the morning, whatever it was, I had to put my sweatpants on because actually the way that tent is made, the bottom flaps are, it's like it already has its rain fly. So on the inside of the bottom is mesh on the tent side, and then the flap, the solid, pulls out. Well, I had pulled it out and staked it because it was 90 last night. When we were down here at the lake, started fishing, it was 90 degrees and no wind. And big old fat skeeters, big fat skeeters. So it was like, wow. Well, last night, that cold wind was blowing right through the tent because I had staked that puppy up. And honestly, by then, it was raining and I wasn't going to get out and unstake it. I slid the bed up against it to block as much wind as possible. And then I had another rain fly I kind of stuck in between the bed, and that helped. And then I'm putting on my flannel sweatpants that are, gorgeous. These are my camp sweatpants. These are my work sweatpants. Actually, when it's cold, I work in them. So all these holes are from grinding. That hot metal hits it and it melts it. It's just a done deal. But I'll wear these till there's nothing left. I got them at Sam's. I'm hoping next year they'll have these at